and welcome to Happy Planned Homeschool. Today we're going to talk about all things history and how I make our history work for my kindergartner all the way up to my 5th grader. I'm Tanya, and you're sitting in my living room. We do not have a designated homeschool space. We homeschool throughout the whole house. We have a very open layout, like literally it's like one square. And we do most of our homeschooling at the kitchen table, but with history, I do it in the living room. My kids will either doodle on our big coffee table, they will just lay down during read aloud time. We have just found that history time for us works well in the living room. So with that, I store all of our stuff for history in the living room. And this year we are using My Father's World, and we are going from Rome to Reformation. This is our first year using this curriculum, and I couldn't be more thrilled. I just feel like we're gonna love it. So how I have this laid out for us is, for the teacher's manual, I usually keep this on my desk or over where my other teacher's manuals go, behind you, which is my dining room, and I will get to sharing a whole homeschool space tour. But for now, I just wanted to share with you our family history subject and how I'm storing it this year. So we have a ton of books that go with this, and now I will put a disclaimer, with My Father's World, you have Bible and art and science and all of these other components that go with this. In this video, we're just going to talk about the history component, because this is where we do our history. We do the Bible out of here, and we will dabble a little bit this year in the science, but it will be mostly for review. We have done both the science before, and our Bible stays at the kitchen table because we do that during our breakfast time. So with history, I have all of our main history books here. We have our World of History, which is from Osborne, Brooks and Moore. We're going to be using Streams to Civilization, which is new to us this year because this is the first time we've used My Father's World. We have Medieval World, again, by Osborne, Books and Moore. And just a ton of different, this is an older version. I just ended up with two for some reason, so we have two. We have Augustus Caesar's World, and like just a few read alouds in here, as well as the Roman Empire. This I know will be a read aloud. We have read this before, the kids love it. This book is new to us, and it's also a read aloud book. We have Ancient Rome, and then you choose Middle Ages. Y'all, we've got through 2 of these story paths, and my kids love these books. So we just have those nice and simple right here so my kids can grab them if they need them. And then here comes the fun part for mom, because it's like the stuff that might not be so neat to look at, but it's still like usable. You know, it's organized and pleasing to the eye. In this book, we have Story of the World, and then the CD set, because My Father's World does reference it. And then just another few read alouds that I have for history this year that we won't be using like on an everyday basis, and they just easily fit in a small little box. My kids can grab them when they need them, and I'm in love of the way this turned out. Next up, we have our books that, like our notebooks for history this year. We will be notebooking through. I did add in some more coloring books just because these are Bible coloring books, and I had just printed these off like a printable online, but just something that they can color during read aloud time. That's only for read aloud time for history. Then we have their history notebooks, and this is what I love, y'all. I love that I was able to bind them, and they fit nice and easy. All three of my kids are in here. I have a kinder, like I said, I have a 5th grader, and I have a 3rd grader. And as we go through this book, I know that each of the kids will be able to do the worksheets at their own pace, at their own skill level, and I don't have to be worried that my kinder can't do what my 5th grader can, because my 5th grader just knows I expect more out of her. And we even have our timeline pages in the back, which was just a pull out. And so that's what we're using this year for history. I'm excited to dive deep into my father's world and all that they have to offer. I love that they have so many components to it, but with so many components and with us not having a ton of space in our house, I was like, how are we gonna do it? And so it worked out very well this year just to house it in the living room like we used to, but adding in a little bit of decorative storage baskets and able to hide some of the stuff that I just don't really want to look at all year round. And as we finish using some of the books, like these 2 books, I'm sure we'll be done with the first 13 weeks. We'll be done with this one actually this week, but this one we will use for the first 13 weeks. I'll just set this and go put it on the bookshelf that houses all of the books that we're not using for this school year. And it works out perfect. But my kids are able to just come and grab the book that we might need for that school year. My bigs are able to just pull this out, scoot this one down. We don't need that one every day, but we'll probably need our notebooks, and they can just literally set it on the coffee table, which is where you're sitting, and we're good for the day. I just couldn't be more thrilled, y'all. And I know I keep saying that, but as we dig deep into my father's world, this I believe is for 4th through 8th graders. I have already seen that like some things might go above, well they will go above my kinder's head, but she can sit, she can color in those coloring books that I made for them, she can color in her timeline and just listen along, and she's still grasping that information. Whereas my 3rd grader, I do expect him to keep up with my 5th grader. He is more than capable of it this year, and it will just be a lot of read alouds, and they're used to that anyways. I will say too that their ancient world book that they use in this is not the same, but I know that I can just tweak it a little bit and it will work, and I can just pull different stories from that and make it work for us this year. And then we'll be doing like their interactive like notebooks that I showed you with their timeline and gluing and pasting, and I'm just excited this year. So hopefully it will go as planned and we'll just continue on my father's world. But I wanted to show you guys what we're using this year for history, how we're gonna use it, and where we store it, because not everyone has a homeschool space. And we don't all want our houses looking like primary kindergarten classrooms, right? So this is what we did this year, and I'm just loving the way it turned out. I literally have just had these 2 boxes around the house and we just repurposed them. I don't mind seeing some books, so it worked out perfect for this school year. I would love to know what you guys are using for history. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know your kids' ages. Do you do a history program for your kids at different ages? Do you guys all do it as one big family? Let me know down below and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye, friends.